Hi guys, Radhika here again. So today I wanted to make a video on this topic of sensitivity. Most people who identify narcissists or who go through narcissist abuse are sometime or the other called as sensitive by either their friends or people who are in the narcissistic clan along with the narcissist or even the narcissist. And sometimes this can go really bad because someone might go to a psychiatrist for help or might go to a trusted person for help, and even that person might turn around to the person who's being abused by the narcissist and they might tell this person that you are being overtly sensitive. So I just want to address this because I have been accused of being hypersensitive myself, and which is true. I am hypersensitive because if you, like me, identify with being an empath, then a person who's an empath feels has feelings that go to a very deep level. So if someone says something, an empath will understand why they are saying those things, why they are using those particular words, and they can also kind of imagine the backstory behind them saying those words. An empath is someone who from the reaction that a person gives can suddenly see the bigger picture, like how is this reaction going to affect other things, how how things are going to get triggered because of what this person said and what this person is actually feeling and going through. So um, basically, this is a big weapon that society in general and also narcissists and narcissistic clans, your school, your teacher, or if you are in an office environment, your office colleagues, everyone is going to keep on telling you this, that you are overtly sensitive, you are overtly sensitive. Now, is that a bad thing? Is being overtly sensitive a bad thing? Maybe it's bad in this world because this world has become so negative and so insensitive to so many things that if you are a sensitive person in this world, it's going to be hard on you. Those people who keep telling you that you are sensitive, they do not understand where you are coming from, and that's why they will say that you are insensitive from their own perspective, because they cannot feel as deeply as you can feel. So for them, they feel that what's so bad in it, someone said a few bad words, someone's mood was off, they just unloaded on you, why is that so bad? So they, for them, it gets over there, but for you as an empath, you see the reaction that this produces. When someone shouts on someone, the cycle of shouting, it continues, and you see how these negative vibrations and these negative energies keep circulating because of someone who is not understanding what is happening inside themselves. So generally you will be told that you are oversensitive, and they might also kind of blame you for being oversensitive. Now this has happened with me, and I have seen incidents like this. So I see, especially it happens more with boys, I would say. Boys who are sensitive are taught to be insensitive. They are taught that you are a boy, you have to be a man. A man cannot feel, a man cannot cry, a man cannot be so sensitive. But these are not those times, guys. These are not the Stone Age. This is not the Stone Age when a man would have to go out and hunt and fight. This is not a Stone Age society anymore. It's a more advanced society. You can be sensitive in this society. I get from where the people who ask boys to be strong, where they are coming from, because there used to be a time when men could not be weak, because if men were weak, they were either killed or they could get killed, or they were considered, like, they were considered as a burden. If it was a man, and if he was they would consider weak. So a man who's sensitive was considered weak. Whereas sensitivity is not a weakness. It's a great asset. It's sensitivity is what creates artists and what creates lovers and what creates poets. So no one wants fighters. At one point, fighters were the need of the day, but I don't think we are in that society anymore. We have advanced from that stage, but there are still some people who believe in that. So I have seen with my own eyes, in a family situation, like a disgruntled elder person, like a grandma, she shouts at a grandchild, and the grandchild is just playing around. But this grandma, she cannot control her emotions because she has so many negative emotions inside her. So she comes and she unloads on this grandchild, and the grandchild starts crying. And the grandchild's uncle tells him that if you cry at everyone who shouts at you, then you're just going to be a crybaby all your life. And I was so surprised at this because I felt like this child is just here. He's just playing. He's not troubling anyone. He's very happily playing. And this older woman, she just comes and she shouts at him. And this uncle, who should analyze this situation, and he should tell his mother that don't shout on my nephew. But what he does is instead he tells the nephew that why are you crying? You should not cry. So you see how society operates. It's not cultivating sensitivity. It is breeding insensitivity. It is breeding people who are ignoring emotions. It is breeding people who are encouraging negativity, who are encouraging shouting on people. So if someone is being bullied, like this little guy was being bullied in this situation by his own grandmother, someone should tell the grandmother that what's wrong with you? Why are you making a child who's playing? Why are you making him cry? Why are you spreading your negativity onto this innocent child? But no, that's what happens in Indian societies, especially because we are so enamored by the society, and we so want to fit in. So we are trying to make everyone insensitive, we are trying to make everyone blind, we are trying to make everyone feel like don't look at what is bad, just fit in, don't go against anyone. So that's why if you are a sensitive person in such a society, people are going to feel like something is wrong with you. But you need to understand that nothing is wrong with you, and you need to you cannot you first need to understand that you cannot change the society. It is the society you were born into. So it's something that is, and it has become the way it has because it has gone through some things. So I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. I'm saying that people are the way they are because they were conditioned to be that way. But what you have to do is you have to understand your own conditioning. And then when you understand your own conditioning, you can change yourself, because change begins at home. You can't just stand up one day and aim to change the world. You you can do that, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult to do that. So what you can do is first you change yourself, you understand your own conditionings, you understand what it is that you feel is right and why do you feel is it right. And then once you start understanding that, you will understand that most of the things that you feel are actually not something that is you. It is something that you have taken on from various things, from your parents, from the society, from people around you, from your friends, from books, from movies, from poems, from pictures, etc. So this is very necessary. So if you're a sensitive person, it's great because you can actually do this. Because as a sensitive person, you will analyze everything, you will try to understand everything, because sensitive people, basically the thing is they get stimulated a lot more by events around them. So they get in a state of not understanding what is going on. So such people have the capacity to go in and actually to introspect on things, that why did this thing happen, why did that thing happen. And when you do that, you get knowledge. And when you get knowledge, you get some understanding. After understanding, you can get empathy, you can get love, and then you will start to see through this veil of reality, that what is reality, how have I been living all this time, and is it whatever is happening around me, is it good, why is it happening, why are people behaving in such a way. So you will get to all those understandings if you are a sensitive person. If you are not a sensitive person, you'll just keep on living this life like a programmed robo, and you will also try to make everyone around you as insensitive as you are. So insensitive people are actually numb people. They are numb, they are numb to feelings. They don't at one point maybe they were sensitive, but they just gave in to the programming of the society. They just gave in to people telling them that you should not be sensitive, so they gave in to that. They kind of relented, and they were like, okay, I'll get brainwashed by society. And the sensitive people, even though they don't shout or they don't scream at others, or they don't make their point, they don't make themselves heard, and they don't put their point forward very strongly, and they don't have to have everyone agree with them. They are actually the rebels of the society. So if you're a sensitive person, even though like no one will think of you as a rebel, but trust me, you are a rebel. And the people who are very egoic, who appear as rebels in society, who appear like they have very strong ideals, and they have very strong this and that, and they are trying to make everyone agree with them, those are the people who actually are brainwashed. So they are not the rebels, they are the ones who gave in to society and needs of society, that you have to be insensitive, you have to be bossy, you have to make everyone agree with you. So they have given in to that need of power, that need of survival that society has. And yeah, so basically, if you are a sensitive person, just understand that everyone makes that choice of being sensitive or being insensitive. So I actually think innately we all are very sensitive, because as children we all cry, we all get affected by things that are happening around us, we all feel bad when we see an animal in pain. But over the years our conditioning is such that we become numb to it. So if I'm a child and I see, if I'm really attached to animals, but if everyone in my family is a meat eater, and if I see them eating meat day in and day out, and I'm the only one who's not eating, it'll either be like my siblings will make fun of me, my relatives will tell my parents that why aren't you making her eat meat, we all eat meat, why isn't she eating, it's so weird, everyone is eating. So it's this conformity that makes people give up what they actually believe in. And we do this at a very young age. At a very young age, some of us will make this choice of giving up what we actually want and just fitting in with the society. And such people, when they grow up, they become so numb that they want everyone to fit in, and they believe that they have made the best decision of their life by fitting in. And that's why they're always overcompensating, over trying to tell everyone to fit in. If someone doesn't fit in, they punish that person. So it all comes from this one bad decision that they made in their childhood or whenever they made it, to conform to society's needs. Because inside, even they are rebels. They want to do what they want to do, but they have been doing what the society has been telling them for too long now. And now they can't change the stand that they had taken a long time ago. So they try to keep on justifying their actions, like what they have done. And it's very sad, because basically all they need to do is they need to stop conforming, and they'll be free. but they just don't realize it. They don't even have this kind of understanding that this is why they are acting the way that they are acting. On the other hand, if you made the choice to, at that point when you were a child, you decided, no, I'm not going to eat meat, and you have endured your whole life taunts by your family, by your friends, by whoever in the society, at this point you will be a much happier person. You might be very sensitive, but you are in touch with the core of who you are. And that's where this fight between narcissist and empaths is always going to happen, because the narcissist was actually just like an empath, but they took all the other decisions. So it's kind of like, if you have seen Harry Potter, in Harry Potter, Harry says that me and Voldemort, we are so similar. Our stories are so similar. He just wanted the things that I wanted when I was a child and I was an orphan and I didn't have anyone for me. And that's when Dumbledore tells Harry that you guys were similar, but you guys made very different choices. So Harry chose light and Voldemort chose dark. And in the end, we understand that light cannot exist without the dark, and dark cannot exist without the light. That's what J.K. Rowling is trying to tell us through Harry Potter, that everything in life is a choice. So you make a choice. You can either choose the light or you can choose the dark. And actually speaking, there's not much difference between someone who chooses the light and someone who chooses the dark. It's just the difference of a decision. It's just the difference of awareness. It's just the difference of understanding. Other than that, everything is the same. So a narcissist is going to behave like an empath if they only made different decisions throughout their life. But because they have been making the other set of decisions, I wouldn't even call it wrong or right at this point, because wrong and right is again a perspective, right? So who are we to judge what is wrong and what is right? But a sensitive person usually makes choices that hurt least amount of people, and most of the time the person getting hurt is the sensitive person. But then again, sensitive people are so in touch with their inner core that they have the power to transmute, right? You have the power to transmute. So you can take a really bad situation and you can find out a solution to that really bad situation. So you're transmuting, so you're converting a problem into a solution. And similarly, you can take a lot of hate, you can take a lot of anger and all the negative emotions that are put onto you, and you can transmute it into love and into understanding and into good emotions, happiness, joy, or freedom, whatever, liberation, whatever you want to call it. So that is why, even in the grand scheme of things, if you look at yourself as a sensitive person, as an empath, and you feel always like, I'm the victim, I'm the victim, I'm the victim, you need to get over that. At some point we all feel as the victim, because we are in a way, but we need to go beyond that and we need to realize, why are we the victims? We are the victims because we can overcome being a victim, and we can empower ourselves, and we can empower ourselves and still be who we used to be before the narcissist did whatever they did to us. We could go back to that happy state. Whereas the narcissist, they cannot go back to the happy state. They just cannot, because they have too much hatred now inside of them. And as an empath and a sensitive person, you are incapable of keeping so many bad emotions inside of you. It's just not you, it's not in your nature. And because you have been making these choices over a period of time, you have, in a way, created a nature, you have created your vibration, you have created your energy. So, no matter how down you swing, you are always going to come back to the place which is your baseline, which is the baseline of your emotions. So if you're an inherently happy person, peaceful person, you are going to come back to that. Yeah, even though you might have a downswing, you might be sad for a long time, you will come back to what you were, and that's going to happen. So basically, that's what happens when you're a sensitive person. So when people call you hypersensitive, or if they try to justify what other people are doing to you, or if they try to tell you that something is wrong with you because you are oversensitive, what you can do is you can empathize with such kind of people, because you are like eons further in your personal progress than these people are. You have so much empathy in your heart for so many people. You have empathy for this whole world. You have empathy for creation. In a way, you have empathy for everyone. You have empathy for one person means you have empathy for everyone in the world. So what you can do is you can empathize with this person. I know that at this point you are asking them for support, but you need to realize that no one can support you. No one can, because you are supposed to support yourself. You are supposed to heal yourself. No one can heal you, only you can heal yourself. And then once you heal yourself, you can start healing other people after you have healed yourself. And healing is not like it's not like a sprint, in an office environment, that it's a 2 week sprint. So in 2 weeks I'm healed. It won't be like that. It won't be like a monthly thing. It's a lifetime process of healing, because so many things happen to us in this lifetime, and we go through so many things, and our subconscious hides it for us and it keeps it inside. But these things come out in various ways, in forms of triggers, or in forms of emotions, in forms of fears, in forms of anxiety, in different forms. So healing is a very long process. So you, as a sensitive person, you first have to heal. You have to help yourself heal. Your body will heal, your mind will heal, your spirit will heal. They all have self-healing capacities. All you need to do is you need to help it heal. So you need to be your best friend. You need to support yourself. Don't expect the level of empathy that you have for others to have the same level of empathy. It's very difficult. You're not going to find someone who has as much empathy as you have. So use that empathy, show it to yourself. You can empathize with yourself. And then, if you make the mistake of asking someone else for help and they call you oversensitive, then empathize with them, because they have not been through the life that you have been. They are not you. The level of their soul is not as mature as the level of your soul is. So they might also be very used to being on this earth. So maybe they have reincarnated here a lot of times. So they are okay with the things that are going around. They won't feel anything odd with it. So if you were to suddenly get up one day from the US and move to China, you would find a lot of things there very peculiar, right? And if someone from China was to one day suddenly wake up and come to the US, that person would find things here very peculiar. So you don't expect these two people to have the same level of understanding. Similarly, you cannot expect others to have the understanding to a deep level like you do. If you are very lucky, you might have some friends who support you through thick and thin. You might have family that supports you through thick and thin, but you will always have this feeling like even if they are supporting you, they don't completely understand you. And that's totally fine, because I don't think anyone completely understands anyone else unless you are enlightened. So it's very hard for us to expect such things from others. So don't expect it. And if they call you things like hypersensitive, or like too touchy, or like not fit for this world, then let them say the things that they say, because you are sensitive, and in a way they are right. Maybe you are not fit for this world, because you might have come from um you are fit for a world which is more sensitive, which is full of artists, which is full of lovers, which is full of poets, which is full of people who don't need power, who need love. And that's the kind of soul that you are not a fear based, a power based soul. You are a love based soul. The thing that you need the most is love. The thing that you can give the most is love. And so understand that maybe there's a little bit of truth in what they are saying, and just empathize with such people. So you need to be kind of like Jesus and forgive them at like how he forgave people at the stake. You need to forgive them, and even if they try to hurt, I mean, if they're saying these things maliciously, just don't talk to them, because you as an empath or sensitive person will understand who's actually trying to help you and who's just trying to trigger you even when you are down and out. So there are people like that who will trigger you. So don't talk to them. Talk to people who will help you. And if you don't know anyone such, if you don't know a person who can help you, try to help yourself, and just go inside, introspect, and know who you are. Know that you are love, you are light, you are made out of love, and that's why you feel so many things that are in opposition to you. Anything that's in opposition to love is going to make you cringe, because you're like, it's like fire and water, right? You are fire, and when you have water, you're going to fear the water, because you're like, no, this is going to put me out. So when you have hate, or when you have anger, or when you have all these negative emotions, you get very tense, and you feel that this is not right, because you are love. And I'm not saying that love is of course greater than hate. It can heal, but in the end what you will realize is you need hate and you need love, and you need both of them to make this world a whole. So yeah, so as a sensitive person, I would say you are correct. Don't let anyone tell you you are wrong. Don't let anyone make you, I mean, let them, uh, don't let anyone make you believe that you are wrong. They might say whatever they want to say, but don't believe it yourself. You know, even if you are sensitive, you are hypersensitive, you cry, you feel a lot, it's fine. That's what human beings are supposed to do. Since when were human beings supposed to be like robots and not feel anything, or be like, these demons who are just like full of hatred and full of anger all the time? You are not supposed to be like that. You are supposed to be full of love and light and feelings. So if someone says it to you, you don't have to explain it to them. You know it, and that's enough. So when you know it, you will slowly become transforming your life. You will slowly become start healing. So that's what's needed. So yeah, if you're sensitive, just understand that no, you are not wrong, you are correct, and just always believe that. So yeah, that was all from me. I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Bye.